All right. Okay. So this is Seth here, also known as Lucifer. This is Seth, business and spiritual consultant. The reason why I say this is Seth because I just want to let you know once again the Lucifer energy right now. That's going on with Elmera. You know, as I said once again, I don't hate you, boy, but you got something under the sink in your kitchen. I don't know what the fuck that shit is. I don't know if it's fake. I don't know if it's real. I don't know if it's a joke. I don't know if you actually threatening my life. So since you threatening my life, there's gonna be a lot of Lucifer energy around you. You know, like I said before, I don't go around cursing people. I don't go around cursing people. If you curse me, I'm gonna curse you back. But I don't go around cursing people. That's not what I do. I give out free rituals. I give out free initiation rituals. I open people's minds in the nether realm, in the other realm. That's what I do. I don't practice curse works. I don't go around cursing people. If you curse me, I'm gonna curse you back. And there's a lot of people that try cursing me, and I curse them back. you know, that's all it is. You know. So like I said, one more time, whatever energy that you're feeling right now, because I see that you're feeling some kind of energy. I see that shit is going a little bit sideways right now. But like I said before, it's not. I didn't shoot you in the back and shit. That's bullshit right there. You can't tell me I shot you in the back. You put my name in the box. You want to call some fucking spirits. You got shot in the face. You know what I mean, bro? Like, you got shot in the face. If you feel like somebody shot you, you got shot in the face. It wasn't in your back. You went around and got some magic done because of your trust issues. Your trust issues is one of the main problems in your life. Your trust issue is one of the main problems in your life because since you got fucked with by the people that fuck with you a couple years ago, now you're like, fuck everybody. That's cool and all for a moment. Everybody, when your butt hurt, your butt hurt, Everybody goes through that. But at some point, you have to get out of it. You have to get out of that mentality of fuck everybody and blah, blah, blah. Because fuck everybody is ruining your life. You're missing out on things. Of course, you got to maintain on the spiritual level. You can't be thinking that everything in the material world is what it is supposed to be. It's not necessarily what it is to be. You maintain on your spiritual level so you can be a hermit, but when you walk outside, the world is your oyster. You know what I mean? And the way that happened is by not holding a grudge against the world. You can still use dark powers. There's still usage for dark powers. I'm a demonologist myself, so I walk in the left hand path too. So every day of my life, I see reasons to be using these things, whether it is for financial gains, whether it's for love, um, things in that manner. There's always a reason to use these powers. And the thing about dealing with Lucifer is Lucifer actually teaches you how to go and get, how to live as your better self. Because having financial success doesn't necessarily mean that you're living your higher self, your better self. So you need to live your better self. You need to live your better self. And Lucifer does that. Lucifer will teach you how to live your better self. You know. Um as I said before, that Lucifer energy right now, it's it went after you because of how you're reacting to this situation. Now the thing is, somebody just mentioned in that last video that you know that I use psychology a lot. I don't know how this person knows that I use psychology a lot. Maybe this person watches more of my videos than I would expect, because you actually need to watch more than just one video to know that I use psychology a lot. Um, and Lucifer is the grandfather of psychology. So Lucifer created psychology. So of course I use psychology a lot. There's a lot of everything has to do with your psychology. The way you carry yourself, the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you think, how you feel emotions, how you react to emotions, all that is connected to your psychology. The way that you use your magic is even connected to psychology. So the way that you practice your magic, the way that you use your magic, your motivations for using magic, your motivations for living the life that you live, your motivation, everything has to do with psychology. So psychology is a very important thing to understand, not necessarily master, because it takes a couple of years to master psychology, obviously, but it's an important thing to know of, you know. And it can make you have better relationships with other people. If you understand how other people think, then you're probably going to end up having a better relationship with people. Of course, me being the devil that I am, you know, some people might find it a little bit too charming. So when you're too charming, it's like being not charming enough. You know what I mean? When you know too much about people, people tend to not trust you necessarily, because they're like, man, this guy, you know, he might have some plans. Of course I have some plans. I always have plans. You know, I have plans for people as soon as I see them, you know. So sometimes, so I have a good relationship with people, but I can't say that all of my business dealings end up being 100%, because you know, business is business, and in business there's going to be a little bit of fear. There's going to be a little bit of fear because you don't know why this person just entered your building. You don't know what this person actually wants, and even though he's telling you what he wants, it's business, so he might say this but he actually means something else, you know. So there's always going to be a little bit of fear. There's always going to be a little bit of reticence towards you if you're offering something. It's not that the person doesn't like you. It's not the person doesn't want to deal with you. It's just that you might be too, you might know your shit too much, and that might, you know, brush people off a little bit. You know what I mean? Because when you know, business is dangerous. When you know too much about business, you can fuck somebody over. You know what I mean? And you can fuck him over real hard and steal all of his money, and go take a trip to New Mexico and never see your ass again. And that happens a lot. And you know, and it happens a lot. I mean, most business people, they're always, even people that have a business are gonna be telling you, like, you might have something to offer them, but they're gonna be like, you know what, I don't, you know, like, I did a business deal with this guy just the other day and he screwed me over for this amount of money, so you come after this guy. You have to understand that you're always, when you're an entrepreneur, you're always coming after a guy that just crossed somebody. So every house and every door, every business that you're gonna go towards, or that you're gonna go solicitate, you have to remember that the last guy that walked in stole this guy's money. You know what I mean? You know, it is what it is. The last guy that walked into that place stole this guy's money, and it's 95% of the time the case, if not 99, bro. Like 90, like, you got to tell yourself every time you're going out and you're going to do business, this is why you can't take shit, like, you can't take shit, like, you know, you can't take shit personally, you know. Like, you got to tell yourself every time you're going into somebody's business, dog, like, like this guy just got crossed. Um, but you got to keep trying. You got to keep doing, because there's some people that might realize that there's some people that actually do business, and then there's some people that don't realize that there's people out here that don't really do business. They just steal people's money and then they run away. You know, um, and not everybody realizes that. There's some people that try to do business with one guy, and that ruins the whole bucket. You know what I mean? The one bad apple. If you leave, the one bad apple ruins the whole damn thing. So that's the kind of life that this person is living. This person is living in a one bad apple kind of dimension. You know what I mean? So if he walks in somewhere, if he goes somewhere, if he sees one bad apple, that just ruined the whole batch. You know what I mean? So he's not gonna trust anybody. He's not gonna fuck with anybody. But there's some people that understand that there might be one bad apple in the batch, but all the other apples are good. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So he might have fallen on the bad apple, but after that bad apple, he might meet like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 good apples. You know what I mean? Especially if you've just seen the bad apple, so you know what the bad apple looks like, and you know what the bad apple will do. So you can't, even though the bad apple can look like a good apple, but you still know, and it's better. So now it's just a thing of what's your motivation. Like I said before, are you in business to do more business, or are you just in it just for doing what you do? Because there's some people that just want to do what they do. They're not in it for the whole connecting with other people thing. Because business is about connecting with other people. That's the whole fucking thing, right? So anyways, you know um like I said before, man, like, I don't hate this guy, but your shit in your kitchen, man, like, that shit got me fucked up. That shit got me fucked up, man. That's why you feeling that like I'm saying, what I mean? Like, I'm seeing like shit is not going too well for him. Like I can see in his demeanor, I can see in the way he does his videos. He's talking a lot about me. He's thinking a lot about me. He's thinking way too much about me, like way too much. I only have like 100 subscribers. Somebody that has 16,000 subscribers, you're thinking about me way too much, bro. You're bringing in your own secular negative energy right now, bro. Like, this negative energy that's going on you right now, that's all on you. That's all on you. You're doing way too much. And of course, you have to understand, he knows that I'm important. He knows that I'm important, because if he didn't know that I was important, he wouldn't be doing all of this. It wouldn't bother him as much, because I see it's bothering him. I see like he's genuinely bothered by my shit, by my videos. Genuinely bothered. So in that, there's something dangerous in this person. There's something dangerous about this person. This ain't good, because this is very negative. You know that I'm important, or else you wouldn't be doing this. You know that there's something about me, or else you wouldn't be doing this. And for you to go and try and curse me, put it online like it's nothing, of course you're gonna get some negative energy. Of course you're gonna get that Lucifer energy. Of course I went to go see Lucifer, you know what I mean? Of course I'm gonna go see Big Daddy. I'm gonna go see Big Daddy. I'm gonna be like, Dad, there's somebody at school, he's picking on me. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna bring Daddy to school and be like, Daddy, that's the guy that's bothering me. Can you help me out? You know what I mean? So that's what's going on right now. So you can't call me a bitch and shit like that and say that I'm shooting you in your back, bro. You're trying to curse me. You put it on the internet. You said it twice. And the worst part is, you're trying to curse me on absolutely zero basis. You're trying to curse me on zero basis, bro. Because I've tried to bury the hatchet twice, 2 times. I tried burying the hatchet twice. I've tried to let you express yourself, because you could have used this opportunity to be like, if you were who you said you were, and I'm not saying you're not who you say you are. All I'm saying is, from my perspective, if you were who you said you were, I would have given you the chance to express yourself. If you would have expressed yourself correctly and clearly on who the fuck you are, and when I say who the fuck you are, I mean that on a positive tip, like this is who the fuck I am, Negro, and type of shit, but you didn't do that. You know what I mean? So I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. Me personally, I'm a very psychological person, like some of you guys notice, but I literally don't know what that means. The fact that you didn't answer back with your swag, with your panache, with your confidence, with your I'm holier than thou shit, I just don't know who you are, man. Like, it's I don't know where you put you, man. Because the thing is, me, I understand that there are many gods on this earth. I'm not the only one. There's a bunch of gods, man. It's like, Mike Tyson's a god, bro. Like, like fucking, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, like Conor McGregor. Like shit, fuck, even Mayweather is kind of a god, bro. Like, you know what I mean? even Mayweather is kind of a, he does what he does, bro. Like he's the best at what he does, bro. So, anyways, and spiritually speaking, man, like all jokes aside, but spiritually speaking, man, like there's a lot of dudes that are on a god that are on a god level shit. I don't know if you're in the god level shit. I don't know that shit, man. Like so you didn't feel the need to tell another god where you at on your god shit, because that would have explained a lot of shit to me, because to me you just came out of fucking nowhere, bro. Like to me you came out of nowhere, because it's by looking at Ieko Eden's videos that you popped out, and he talked about you a little bit. It's not like he talked about you and I was like, man, let me go see this guy, man. He talked about you like 5 fucking years ago, like it's not like he said that shit, it's like what, and then I went out that so flash forward 5 years later, you come back out and you start dissing the man. Of course I'm gonna have a reaction. A lot of people didn't have a reaction. I'm gonna have a reaction. There's a lot of people that have reactions. I'm a guy that might have a reaction. And like I said before, man, you did like a lot of videos about EA. Before I started to, before I answered, you did a lot of videos about EA. So of course I'm gonna be like, yo, what the fuck is this guy's problem? You know what I mean? But I digress. I'm the kind of guy, I'm the kind of man that, if, like, you are who you say you are, I'm gonna be like, okay, my bad, you know. And this is why I was doing what I was doing, because I was trying to see, like, who exactly is this guy? Like, is he really who he says he is? Like, there's some shit like that. So I'm gonna test this. He's not my friend. He just dissed my friend, but I'm gonna test him a little bit to see, what the fuck going on. Because you got to be careful on YouTube. You never know who you're gonna meet. You never know who you never know. Me on my resume, but you got to understand, me on my resume, I helped out hundreds of people with the targeted individual movement. In 1 year, I decreased the level of targeted individuals in 1 year. You know what I mean? 1 fucking year, guy. I totally decreased that shit. Like, it's almost gone. There's no such thing as targeted individuals right now. There's just a bunch of people with powers. You know what I mean? On my resume, Dolo the Pilot. If you don't know who Dolo the Pilot is, trust me, he might look like he's not that big of a deal. He's a pretty big deal, man. He's a pretty big deal, man. This guy has like hundreds of witches working for him. and I took on all those witches at the same damn time. We're talking about like 50 to 100 witches, man. You know, that's on my resume. So I do shit on a mass scale level. I don't know what you do. I've never seen you before. I don't, and you're out here trying to curse me and put my name on Instagram and Facebook and shit. I don't know what to tell you. You know, all I know is Lucifer is doing some work for me right now because of that curse, that supposed curse that you got under your sink. You know, I don't know if that shit real or not, and I'll take that shit seriously. I know what voodoo spirits can do. You might want to take my words back and take my words backwards and make it seem like I'm disrespecting voodoo spirits when in actuality I'm trying to get a culture to rise up to the occasion. But you want to take it and make it seem like I'm like some guy that doesn't respect, you know, the spirits, blah blah blah, whatever. You take it as you want to take it. I know it's a joke. They know it's a joke. And I'm pretty sure there's a bunch of other people that get that it was a joke. You know, I wasn't serious. You know, and it is what it is. If there's some consequences, I'm ready to deal with the consequences of saying the shit that I said. I'm good. I'm all for it. Shit, I will fucking scream at you if nigga, like I was trying to get your attention in some shape or form. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like come at me with some shit and I'm gonna tell you off. You know, because you know I know what they're capable of. So if you put my name on the box under your sink and shit like that, that's a serious offense right there. And then you're gonna do a video and now you're getting, life is not looking too good right now, and you're calling the guy a bitch when you're trying to fucking, when you're the first guy that went out to curse him. I didn't go out to curse you. I said it, man. I'm gonna use my voice. I'll use my voice, bro. I'll use my mind. I never said I was gonna curse you, bruh. You went out and cursed me, and you called the guy a bitch, and you're the first one to go see daddy. You were the first one to go see your dad. You were the first one to bring your dad to school because you was getting your ass whooped. You know what I mean? So I brung my dad to school. You know what I mean? That's all it is. That's all it is. It's not, you know, can't call me a bitch for you know, I'm a bitch and you gotta really respect bitches because they might shoot you in the back. That's fucked up, man. Like that's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. That's crazy disrespectful. Because the thing is, the image that you got of me is like I'm this nerdy small guy or some shit like that, bro. You can think whatever you want. I know that's way off. You know, I wish I was more nerdy. Shit, nigga. God damn it, them motherfuckers made $3 billion last year. That motherfucking made $3 billion last year with that whole eBay game market stock market crisis, stock market thing. You know, they hacked up the stock market. They made $3 billion. A bunch of people paid $10 for a stock. They ended up making millions and shit, man. They stole, you know, that shit was crazy. I wish I was more, you know, more like these motherfuckers, man. I would have made $1 million last year, goddammit. Would have made a fucking million. So, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, you know, but the thing, black people don't respect people that are smart, though. I mean, I've noticed that. Like, black folks don't really respect smart people. Like I've it's one thing that's holding us back a little bit. Like back in the 90s, I would have understood that we were like that, but now we're a little bit too advanced Like, you know, whether it's true that there's a lot of stupid people on the planet, but we're a lot more advanced than we were than back in the 90s. So I'm impressed. I'm stunned, shocked that black people still have this stigma against smart people. You know, like it's kind of weird. So you still have that. There's a lot of things about Elmira that is very country like. And I'm not saying like, you know, like Haitian country. You know, not not American country. Well, American country can be a little bit ignorant too, but no puns intended. But you can't diss people from the country because they're not as stupid as people make you believe they are. I used to live in the country, and these guys are a lot more advanced than they look like, you know. So, but there's certain aspect of the country, certain cultures in the country that exist too, where it's very regressive. It's not prone to progress. You know, Mara has a little bit of that tendency in him. You know, he judges people on their looks. You know, he has a lot of disrespect for somebody with brains. You know, that's a little bit country. That's a little bit like, you know, that's a little bit paisan. You know, he's a little bit paisan. Um, and I'm guessing it's because, you know, he hangs around a lot of black people. You know, and you know, and in certain cultures with black people, being smart is a bad thing. Like being smart, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's kind of like you're weird. You know, it's kind of like it's not really accepted. It's like it's almost like racism. It's like prejudice. Like, you know, like you're weird for being smart. Like, you know, like that's some crazy shit, you know. And it's gonna change. It's gonna get better. You know, I'm surprised it hasn't, because the thing is, in the country where I used to be, black people weren't like that. You know, they weren't like, you know, they don't won't find you weird for being smart, you know. That comes from concrete jungle kind of thinking, you know. Concrete jungle, because being smart for some black people that live in the concrete jungle dimension, being smart is not helpful. You have to be violent. You know, like violence solves everything in the concrete jungle. So they don't care if you're smart and shit like that. So there's this kind of culture that creates itself within the community, whereas, you know, being smart is weird. Being smart is like, oh, you're a nerd and you've never done this, and you ain't never smoked a joint in your life. You never snorted cocaine. You never had sex with a girl. You never, you know, like all kinds of prejudices. You know, all kinds of judgments. You know, and that could be like completely wrong. Like I could be like doing that shit a lot more than you do, and you don't even know. You know what I mean, bro? Like I could be like snorting. You like you meet, because that's the thing. When you meet people like that, when you meet people like Elmira, that's what's gonna happen. You could be like, you just like finished snorting dope, smoking 5 joints, slept with 3 prostitutes, but you're a smart guy, and you're gonna go see somebody like Elmira is gonna start judging you and shit. You know, he's gonna think like, oh, you're a bitch and you blah blah blah. And you'd be looking at this dude, you'd be like, okay, well, you know what? I'm just gonna go over there where there's less of you around. You know what I mean? You know, and that's one of the reasons why, you know, Son of Oku was right. That's one of the reasons why I'm kind of solitary, because a lot of people are kind of like, I'm a smart guy, and I'm not gonna show you my gangster side immediately when I see you. You know what I mean? You going, to me, it's an intimate thing. My gangster side is an intimate thing. I keep it for myself because I'm used to being by myself. I used to do, shit by myself. So, but I want to be useful. So when I meet somebody, I'm gonna show you my intelligence. Thinking that you're gonna think, well, this guy's smart, so I can use him to do something since he's smart. And then the gangster come out. Once I'm in it, then I'm in it. Then I'm gonna crack jokes, tell war stories, smoke all kinds of dinks and all kinds of shit. But that's in the past. I'm not talking about right now. But that's how I used to act with people. So Son of Ogu was right when he said, like, I am solitary, and that's one of the reasons why I am solitary. It's one of the reasons why black people sees me as somebody that's solitary, because he's right, but at the same time he's wrong. Because I'm not really a solitary kind of guy. I'm a very outspoken person. I fuck around with cults and in the middle of the streets and all kinds of shit. So a lot of people don't want to talk to me because I'm a fire starter. Like, it's not me that don't want to talk to people. I'm a fire starter. I like starting fires. So people don't really want to talk to me because they know I'm on some bullshit. You know what I mean? I'm some bullshit. At some point, it's gonna, if you hang around me, you gotta know that we gonna find ourselves in some fucking predicaments. You know what I mean? So a lot of people don't like that. And you can't walk around in certain neighborhoods acting like that either. That shit's dangerous. Like, it's dangerous. Like, walking around like that in my neighborhood, that shit was dangerous for me a couple times, man. I got in a bunch of fights, like, living here. So, it's dangerous for me. But I'm kind of used to it at the same time. But, it's just like, I like freedom, man. I don't really believe in fear. I don't believe in living in fear, and I don't believe in living in bondage. I like freedom, So I like freedom, period. And I'm outspoken, so I'm gonna call out injustices. I'm gonna call out scams. I'm gonna call out all kinds of shit. If I see that your scam or your injustice is hurting somebody, I'm gonna call it out. Whether it's with the law or other gangsters, whatever works. I don't care. If I have to go see a spirit, I'll go see a spirit. If I need to see the law, I'll see the law. If I need a gangster, I'll use a gangster. Like, it doesn't matter to me, as long as the unfairness and the violent unfairness and the violent injustice that's been brung upon you is regulated, then I'll use whatever I have to use, because I do believe in a better world. I do believe in progress. I do believe in a better world and progress. And I don't really want to live in a one-dimensional world where everybody doesn't know shit, and it's just some boring ass shit all the time. And that's gay, man. Lucifer doesn't want that shit at all, bro. Like, Lucifer is exciting, slick, womanizing, badass, and all that shit, So living a life where I can't be a ladies' man, and I can't, go around doing random shit. That's disgusting to me, man. Like, that's atrocious. Like, you're gutting me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's not the Lucifer spirit, bro. That whole fucking boring ass, everyday same shit kind of crap. That's not the Lucifer spirit at all, man. At all, bro. Like, and there's a lot of people that got it twisted. A lot of people think, that's what Lucifer's about. Like, Lucifer's about, enslaving humanity and blah, blah. That's crazy nonsense, man. That's crazy talk, man. Shit, I'm a ladies' man, bro. Like, I'm a ladies' man, nigga. God damn, Shit, I'm damn near a goddamn superhero almost. You know what I mean? Like I'm a James Bond kind of guy. You know, Lucifer is a James Bond character. If you want to know who Lucifer is, watch James Bond. That's Lucifer. For real. That's Lucifer right there, man. If you want to know what Lucifer is, watch James Bond. James Bond is, you know, gun token, jumping over buildings, sleeping with women, you know, going around in luxury shit and all kinds of DB9s, you know, speedboats and all that shit. That's Lucifer. That's Lucifer. You know, this whole, regressive ass bullshit that we got going on right now, that has nothing to do with Lucifer, man. And a lot of people got it twisted. A lot of people think, oh, it's because of Lucifer, it's because of this. Nah, nigga. I don't know whose fault that is. But one thing I do know, I don't like not doing shit. I love doing shit. I love to party. I love women. Shit. Nigga, pause. You know what I mean? I'm gonna pause right. I was about to say some shit that sounded beardish. I'm a quit it. But so of course, so like there's a lot of people that don't understand the Lucifer energy. So when you make a video and you're like, who the fuck is this guy? And this guy is kind of like, he doesn't know who you are, doesn't understand it, he doesn't know what Lucifer means. He's going to have the kind of reaction that you just had. And he's going to panic. Because all this shit that you're doing right now, that's reactionary panicking. That's emotional reactionary panicking. That's all it is, nigga. Because you didn't have to do none of that shit, bro. Like, at all. You're talking to, and the worst part is people kind of feel like you bothering me, but in my head, I'm bothering you, man. Like, you're talking about jewelry and lipstick and making my face look like a monkey and, all kinds of shit, nigga. And then you try to curse me and shit. Like, bro, like, I don't know. I ain't trying to diss you, bro. But if people say that you the king, people say you the king, people say that you've been doing this for 9 or 7 years or something like that. Me, the only thing you showed me is that you a kid. You know what I mean? And I mean no disrespect, but that's what you showed me. You showed me you 15 years old. It's like the video I did the other day. You looking at somebody, he looks old as shit, and you thinking that this person is wise and has a bunch of wisdom because he got like gray hair and shit and a long ass beard and gray hair and shit. You thinking this motherfucker might gotta be wise, he gotta know some shit, and then you end up talking to the guy and he's like 12 years old. You know what I mean? I mean no disrespect. I don't mean like you're retarded, because I mean like you just have this 12-year-old attitude, like you just react like childish, you know what I mean? Because just because you're 12 years old mentally, that doesn't mean you're stupid. It's just you're young at heart. You got a lot of youth, But me, you look at me, I look young, right? I look fucking young, right? Guess how old I am? You know, like I look fucking young, right? I look like super young, right? I look like a little kid outside and shit like that. But in actuality, I'm fucking wise as shit. You know what I mean? I got a lot of wisdom, and I'm very woke. I'm very awakened. I'm very illuminated, and I'm very wise. But I don't look like it. And you would never tell that. And people make that assumption all the time. If you put me next to a guy with a long beard, everybody's going to talk to the guy with the long beard thinking that this guy has more wisdom. But in actuality, I got more wisdom than the guy with the long beard. And that's facts. Shit. The other day, I was taking the bus, and I was in the bus, and there's this old man. He looks at me and he's like, he's from the area. And you're going to see why I say he's from the area. Because, like I said, I'm outspoken. I'm always, I'm always talking shit, and I'm always talking that shit. Not necessarily talking shit, but I talk that shit. There's a difference. So people hear me. The walls have ears, so people hear me and they can feel me. So this old man walks up to me. It's like, I'm a philosopher. I teach philosophy. So I'm like, he's old. So I'm like, oh, that's interesting. So I'm like, giving him the space to talk. So I'm like asking him questions and things like that. He said he was a philosopher. But in actuality, what happened was he was testing me. He wasn't really a philosophy teacher. But I took him seriously because he was old. Like, like I did the same fucking. Well, it's not a mistake. It's normal to think that shit, but it's not a mistake. But I made the same assumption. I made the same assumption. He was old and shit. So an old guy tells you he's a philosophy teacher, you're gonna fucking believe him. You know what I mean? So I fucking believed him. So I'm like, oh, cool, man. We're gonna talk about philosophy and shit like that. So I start asking him questions. I start talking and shit, and he just like looking at me, and he didn't really know what to answer. In actuality, he just wanted to test me out. He wasn't really, it was sad, but it happened. So it is what it is, man. Um, like I said, bro, like all that shit that's going on right now, all that Lucifer energy that you feeling right now, nigga, it's because of that box, man. Like, I don't know what's in that box, man. You might feel like I shot you in the back. I feel like I shot you in the face. You know what I mean, bro? Like, because you went out and cursed me. I don't know what's in that fucking box. I don't know if he might be kidding. It might be a joke. If it's a joke, don't worry about it. You know what I mean? But if it's a joke, you need to say that it's a joke, because I don't know if it's a joke. You know what I mean? So, you need to tell me if it's a joke. If it's a joke, then don't worry about shit. But if it's not a joke, then worry about shit. That's, it is what it is. If it's not a joke, then you need to worry about shit. So hey, I didn't like the Son of Ogu video. I think it was kind of disrespectful. But I understand where you're coming from. It's all because of that fucking, that fucking video I did the other day, which is fine, bro. Like, which is fine, bro. But you should say, instead of saying that you believe that he gonna win when he's not gonna win. Well, you should be like, yo, why'd you say that, man? Like, there's a reason why, man. There's a reason why. Shit, man. Like, I said in the fucking video why. That's the worst part. That's the worst part. I say why in the fucking video, bro. Like, I repeated it a whole bunch of times, and I don't mind talking about it. Like, you might be peed off. I understand, but I don't mind talking about it, because, like I said before, there's a lot of you guys that have life-changing power, man. There's a lot of you guys that have, reality bending powers, man. Like, you're bending reality. Like, voodoo's, you're bending reality. Like, the person's life is going one way, and now it's not going that way. You know what I mean? You're bending reality. Nigga, that's, hello? So, if you just, it's all right to care about yourself and to tend to your own needs. But, shit, man, if there's like 20, 30, 100 people working on the same fucking thing, doing, going in the same fucking place, focused on the same objective, there's not much that people can do to stop you now, is there? I'm just saying. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking shit. Have a good one. Peace out.